After Brahmos' success with the Philippines, India is eyeing debut contract for Tejas fighter jets with Malaysia. Currently, the ASEAN nation Malaysia evaluating its option of getting the light fighter jets for its air force. Tejas has been manufactured by HAL in India and designed by Aeronautical Development Agency for IAF and Navy. Tejas is one of the world's lightest supersonic fighter and has the capability to carry beyond visual range weapons, air-to-surface, air-to-air, precision-guided and standoff weapons. In 2016, at the Bahrain Air Show, India first exhibited its LCA Tejas to potential overseas clients. Since then, HAL has been aggressively promoting this jet across Southeast Asia, West Asia, and North Africa. Tejas is in the last stages of development and is currently serving with the Indian Air Force. Her jet, on the other hand, is still in development and will not take off for another year. However, Turkey is likely to complete the construction of its advanced trainer aircraft as soon as possible. Turkey has agreed to press forward with the first phase mass production of the Herjet aircraft. The United States has now emerged as India's second biggest supplier of weapon systems just behind Russia. India now looks to Washington increasingly to defend itself. Between 2010 and 2020, India has bought weapons estimated to be $25 billion from the US. There is plenty more on the shopping list in 2022. After the Cold War ended, the US-India defense relationship took off after 1991. India has now a three-pronged strategy for buying American defense equipment. The first is quality over quantity. The US can supply hardware that is of the highest technology available anywhere else in the world, but these cost a lot. This means that unlike in the past when India relied on big numbers at cheap rates while seeking arms acquisition from the US, it's now all about quality. The second aspect in buying weapons from the US is an assurance of spare parts supply and operational availability. The third dimension is technological. India is looking for systems that give its forces an edge in systems that the US has already employed in the war. This is especially true with China, which has great numbers of weapons and platforms, but those are untested in war. The government on Thursday said that efforts have been made to obtain the files and records relating to Netaji Subhas Chandra Bose from the UK, the US, Russia, Japan and China. Minister of State for External Affairs said in Rajya Sabha that the UK has informed that 62 files on Bose are already available on the websites of the National Archives and the British Library. The Russian government has conveyed that they were unable to find any documents in the Russian archives pertaining to Netaji even after additional investigations made based on request from the Indian side. The government of Japan had declassified 2 files on Netaji. These files are part of their archives and are available in the public domain. The US government has informed that they do not hold any historical records of over 30 years. The US National Archives and Records Administration informed that their archival records of that period were not digitized. Mr. Muralidharan, Minister of State for External Affairs, said, the response of the Chinese government has not been received. While 2 commissions of inquiry had concluded that Netaji had died in a plane crash in Taipei on August 18, 1945, a third probe panel, headed by Justice M.K. Mukherjee, had contested it and suggested that Bose was alive after that. China on Wednesday lambasted against the upcoming Quad foreign ministers meeting on Friday and accused the members, including India and US, of creating a bloc confrontation and having a Cold War mentality. China said the 4-nation alliance, comprising India, the US, Japan and Australia, should stop driving wedges between regional countries. Legion said while answering a question on the foreign ministers meeting of the Quad, we oppose exclusive blocs to create bloc confrontation. We hope that the US and relevant countries can get a clear picture of the situation, feel relaxed, abandon the Cold War mentality, stop driving wedges between regional countries and contribute to regional peace, stability and prosperity, he said. The foreign ministers from the 4 countries will be participating in the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue in Melbourne on Friday. India's Ministry of External Affairs said that it will be an opportunity for the ministers to follow up on their virtual meeting held in February last year and exchange views on regional strategic issues given their shared vision of a free, open and Indo-Pacific region. Russia and Belarus has begun 10 days of joint military drills on Thursday, setting in one of the most overtly threatening elements of the Kremlin's buildup of forces around Ukraine's borders. The head of the Russian General Staff arrived in Belarus on Wednesday to oversee the drills. Russia has moved up to 30,000 troops and 2 battalions of S-400 surface-to-air missile systems into Belarus. Satellite imagery shows that much of the hardware has been moved to locations close to the border with Ukraine. The Russian President, Vladimir Putin, reportedly told France's Emmanuel Macron this week that the troops would leave Belarus when the exercises ended on the 20th of February. The drills show that Belarusian dictator, Alexander Lukashenko, is a firm ally in Putin's Ukraine policy. There is also a threat from the south, where Russia annexed the Crimean Peninsula in 2014, and from the east, where Moscow has directed an insurgency against Kiev's authority and has massed troops close to the Russia-Ukraine border.